Off the Cuff with Aunt Lou.
Hey, what's going on?
Ready for you.
Ready for me. I'm in
the house.
I'm back in Jersey. I'm feeling Jersey. I'm loving being home. It's like you fly into Newark, New Jersey, where everyone's like, Newark, New Jersey. Who likes to go there? The energy is unbelievable. When you hit the landing strip, you get out of the plane, you're immediately back into the whole Jersey deal. So when I come home, I'm in the rat race. It's like, you just can't stop. You're seeing everybody you know. I mean, it's just a great feeling to be home. So, and I'm home for kind of a special occasion.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to have you. Dad here in the building as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna celebrate Dad's birthday on Saturday. Yeah. So excited for that. Excited to have you here.
Yeah. And what I have been referring to this weekend as the Glenn Treslar annual Sprinkle Fest.
The Sprinkle Fest?
It's a Sprinkle Fest.
It's a sprinkle.
It's a sprinkle.
I don't know if you care for the name much.
It's a Sprinkle Fest. It's like we are going to touch every part of where Glenn loved to be and what he loved to do.
And with who he loved to be with.
That's right. But let's not forget, every day will bring and every minute will bring one more stupid, crazy story about GT, the bear, the man, the legend, the guy that keeps it together, kept it together until he had to go to the bathroom. Now, everybody and anybody who knows him knows what that connotation meant. But I'm excited to be here, and I think it's going to be a great weekend. I'm glad to see my family. I'm looking forward to seeing my friends. I'm just happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. We're happy to have you, and we're happy to celebrate, Dad's first heavenly birthday. We're happy that, because this is what he liked to do anyway. This is what he cared about more. He didn't care about fancy dinners. He didn't care about going on a trip. What he cared about was just being with the people he loved and doing the things he loved, which was just sitting around telling stories. Yeah. Just having a good time. Yeah. I mean, whether it was at the ball field and whether it was after the game, just sitting around talking. Those were the times that he longed for the most. And that we're gonna bring back a little bit for him this weekend, so I'm excited for it.
And he never was short on stories. I mean, if you bumped into anybody, there was a story. There's always a story that goes into, hey, do you remember when? My story is, every time I called him, I said, I'm coming to town. You know what he says? Listen, I know you're going to stay at Eric's. Don't clippy-clap around his house. He's got wooden floors. You can't clippy-clap with those shoes. You're too loud. I'm like, I'll bring sneakers. It's like the craziest things he would think of, but he was constantly amusing all of us. And his stories will never die. He may be in heaven, but he will live forever in all of our minds, all of our memories. So I'm excited to be here. But something.
And this is actually like the anniversary of a picture I'm looking at right now from down the shore, that weekend right there. What they called Fatty Fest. Yeah. And that was down on Pelican Island, and it was just such an awesome time with a lot of great people.
How many people are in that picture?
Oh, there's
like 30,
at
40,
least,
50.
At least, yeah.
Like that was that beach house, and I was not privy to it. And he loved it,
and that was what those were the summer, like that's what he loved to do, is just be down there and just cooking out and crabbing and just having drinks and just sitting by the water there. Like that was peace. And it's just reminiscent that it's that weekend from 12, 13 years ago now. But yeah, what a great time. And I mean, Brian O playing music that day and all sorts of stuff. Oh, it was a good one. So, but yeah, and I love that spot. That's one of my all time, like, I think I posted on Facebook yesterday that like, just sitting on that dock. I mean, there were times that
brings back sitting on the dock of the bay. Those are the memories that you'll never, ever, ever.
Oh, I can remember one night I sat out there with my buddy Roger, and we just sat on the dock with a cooler between us, and just had beers, watching the cars come over the bridge, and then didn't come up till the sun was almost coming up. Slept for 3 hours, got back up, and Dad's like, man, you guys are back up already? You guys drank
Well, we never
fish.
really slept, Dad. But...
Next thing you know, we're back at the Dad was going, hey, Raj, why don't you have me a beer? And, that was just the way it was. And it just brings back a lot of those great memories. But, yeah, just reminiscent of literally this weekend.
It's the weekend,
that many
man.
years ago.
It's the weekend, and we're going to celebrate him. Something else I'm going to celebrate that I don't get in Nashville, Tennessee, is tasty cakes.
We had to load you up on those. Those are your favorite.
Nothing better than coming home and your family knowing what, hits you right in the middle of the heart. I got the Cheerios. I got the Juniors. I got the coffee cake. I got the crimpets. I'm going to be needing, obviously, a girdle before I leave here. But I got all the good food. You can't get good rye bread. Let's talk about bagels. I mean, I know that sounds crazy because this is every day for you.
But that's why you got to eat it while you're here. But that's like me. See, like if I go, but that's to me though. If I go to Nashville, I'm not going to Nashville and eating Italian food. Like I'm gonna go to Nashville and eat barbecue.
Yep,
I'm gonna go to Nashville and eat those kind of things. Like because to be honest, very rare you find a good barbecue place around here. Like honestly, it's just unless you're making it yourself, unless we're barbecuing it on the grill in the back. More than likely, we're not having barbecue because it's just not you can't get it good around here. So I don't blame you for coming up here wanting to eat all the carbs, all the bread, all the everything because, I get it. You don't get it that way in other places. You get in shape
to go on vacation so that you could, eat all the great things that you love eating. And then let's not forget, I've already got one diner visit under my belt. We got pizza in the forecast for tonight. So partly crusty with a chance of good red sauce, lots of cheese. So it's going to be not only a fun fest, a sprinkle fest, a food fest. It's going to be, a fat fest by the time I leave here.
Yeah, but listen, hey, but that's all right because again, you're going to go home and not have any of this stuff for a while. So that's why you eat it while you can because you get this opportunity now. So enjoy it. And this is a time when you do cut loose for a little bit. You're here for a week. You make the most of a week. Anybody can have an off week. You know what I mean? Even with a diet, whatever, you throw kind of to the side, you get back on track when you get home. But for now, you just roll with it because it's too good.
That's how I'm going to be is rolling with it. I mean, literally down the street. So anyway, so tell me what else is going on. What else you got planned for this weekend?
Well, this weekend I think it's going to be fun because I think Sunday. I'm not sure if Michelle talked to you yet, but I think they were planning on maybe going to the aquarium. Didn't know if maybe you were interested in going with them to that. But I know Monday we were thinking about going down the shore.
Okay, perfect.
So Monday we were going to go down to Boardwalk Jenks. Down in Point Pleasant. Got a nice little boardwalk there. Good for Parker, or, maybe we can go on some rides, play some games, whatnot. We could even grab a boardwalk slice while we're down there on Monday.
That would be awesome. I didn't pack my...
And a fountain soda.
A fountain without a fountain. I know. Why is it I love fountain drinks? What is it about fountain drinks?
I don't know, because that's the interesting thing is I've never really seen you ever drink it out of a bottle or can, but if there's a fountain soda, you're on it.
It's like the fizz. It's like... When I'm dying of thirst, everybody is like, let's get some water. I'm like, man, I could go a fountain. How many people out there love fountains? I think everybody loves a fountain drink. Otherwise, you chance it, you get a bottle, it's flat. Nobody wants flat soda. You want sparkly, you want the fountain, you want the whole thing. So that sounds great. As a matter of fact, Glenn and I used to go down to Point Pleasant, down in that same area when my parents would go out of town. We'd stay with our aunt and uncle, and they used to bring us down there. Make some sandwiches, let us stick our feet in the water. That was one of our big field trips when we were little. So I look forward to that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful spot down there. Point Pleasant's kept up a little nicer, I think, than Seaside is, especially these days. So as far as enjoyability, I think we're going to have a really nice day. Weather should be nice. Might be a little warm, but hey. It's summertime. What do you expect? We're flat middle in this dead middle of summer right now. So if it's going to be hot, it's going to be hot now.
Listen, I didn't bring my 6-piece. Are we on the beach or are we just ad-libbing?
We're ad-libbing boardwalk style. We're not beaching it.
Okay.
It's too much with Parker and all, to cart everything out there, cart everything.
And speaking of Parker, what a doll he is. That little ginger snap is so cuddly and happy and already got some good time in with him. Took him for a walk. He was out like a lampshade. I mean, he, had a little bottle. I was walking. By the time I got back to the house, I love a good walk. However, I mean, I literally needed Dixie cups around my ears to catch the water that was pouring off my head. I don't know why I thought 3 o'clock.
He did index over 100 today.
Yeah.
I get you. That'll get you. And like you said, you want to go out for a walk. Like, man, it's sunshine. It's beautiful. I'm, up here. I want to get out. I want to walk the neighborhood because you grew up here too. So I'm sure you want to walk around, see what's changed, see who's done what, did this, that, the other. And you get out there and you're like a block and a half in. You're like, whew.
Whoa.
I don't know about
Oxygen
this.
line 1.
I was maybe going to go around the lake, but I think we're just going to take it around the block.
I did. I took it around the block several times, but then the last block I was like, okay.
Yep.
Sometimes it's good to know when it's time to say it's
well,
time
I've learned that too with Louie outside because very hot days now. I'm so happy we got the backyard fenced in, so it's been great. I could take him out there instead of taking him all the way over to the park. And in this heat, I don't want to take him over to the park. Okay. So I like being able to run him outside, run him inside because he'll tell me when he's tired. Because when you're playing ball with him, it's his favorite thing in the world, playing fetch. Playing fetch with him, when he starts getting tired, he'll run up and start laying by the door.
Yeah, so you know.
So
when
he's like, I'm done. Time to go
it.
inside now, and he'll lay there, and I'll take the ball, put it on the table because we put his ball away, so we always know where it is. And then we go inside, and then he literally lays out,
it's like enough's enough
on the floor.
Kind of like everybody in the world right now. Like it's not only dogs laying flat on the ground on the hardwood floor. It's everybody.
And he lays in front of the vent too, so he knows where the vents are now. So he'll go and he'll lay in front of one of the vents.
It's like okay. Hey, listen, I know you talk a lot about sports. Let's touch on the Olympics. Have you been tapped into that?
Love the Olympics. Did you watch the other night? Because it's my favorite story yet. The kid from the men's gymnastics team, Notisang, I butcher his last name.
What is
name's Steven, I believe.
What did he do?
He did the pommel horse. He was the specialist that they brought in for the pommel horse. Unbelievable.
I know.
The way he stuck it, they won the bronze. I was enamored with that story. I don't know if you heard it, saw it. I don't know what you thought of his look because a lot of people were comparing him to Clark Kent, Superman.
Yeah, well, there was not an ounce of fat on the guy. Number one, he was very in tone, but not overbuilt. I don't know why people think that you have to look like Bobby Bruiser to be in shape. Mm-hmm. You can be mean, lean, have muscles, and still look good and still be strong. Just looking at all the nonsense he did on that pommel horse.
Oh yeah.
So that was. Have you caught any of the gymnastics?
Yeah. So Simone Biles, fantastic. I think she won the individual individual gold for the all around for the women. And I think Suni Lee came in, took the bronze. But they've both been fantastic. But I mean, what Simone Biles can do on the floor, and I mean the fact that she kind of got a little bit hurt the first night with the calf injury, but still bounced back and was able to come around, win all around gold is unbelievable. I mean, her comeback story from having the twisties, I guess she called it, but I was telling Janice, but that's a real thing, and that's a real thing in sports, not just it's called the twisties there, but it's called other things. I've seen pitchers, in baseball, there's a guy, Rich Ankiel, years ago, who pitched for St. Louis Cardinals. Good upcoming young pitcher, and one day, he's out on the mound, and he just lost it. And balls over the backstop, he couldn't keep control. And he ended up out of baseball because he went from this young rising star to a guy who was out of baseball, ended up coming back a few years later, but as an outfielder. He couldn't pitch anymore.
Yeah.
Because he just lost. He for whatever it was.
Maybe it's the pressure. When you look at it, you're in Paris. Your dream of many years have come true, and now you're there. And now the excitement of it and the nerves and everybody wants to overachieve and everybody wants the bronze, the gold, everything. Everybody wants to be a team player. You get out there, how could your nerves not go crazy? Honestly, I think I would be, okay, I can't perform here tonight.
Yeah.
And so it takes a certain person and all the practicing and all the years. And it's not practicing for 3 months. It's practicing for years on end to get to where you are, to get into the Olympics. Speaking of practicing, someone who did not even practice to be in the Olympics. Hello, Snoop Doggy Dogg. How on earth, with his silliness, and I love the Snoop. How can you not love Snoop? But if you would have asked me that question years ago and said, hey, he's going to be our guy over there at the Olympics, I would have never thought that was the chance.
It's true. I mean, you think about it, he's an unlikely ambassador for the U.S.
It's just wild.
But at the same time, he's a guy who, used to have more of a, gangster appeal, used to have more of that. but he's not that guy anymore.
Well, he
he's
grew
a guy.
up.
He's a guy who if you follow him, like he helps coach youth football. He does a lot for the community. Like he seems like overall a pretty good guy. And so far, I've enjoyed the content I've seen of him, like doing some silly things and whatnot. But I'm 100% with you.
How old is he?
Got to be in his 50s.
He's 50s, late 50s maybe.
Yeah,
but I
probably.
think sometimes these guys grow up and realize, okay, kind of like some of the guys that tattoo their face, their eyebrows, their cheeks, their whole 9 yards. Then they get to be 50, 60 years old. And they're like, what the heck was I thinking? I look a little crazy now, but back then they thought they were cool. But I love the Snoop that he's out there, but I just thought it was a little bit off base when I first saw him. Hey, you told me
one of my favorite. Oh wait, not to cut you off, but one of my favorite stories about Dad that Snoop, just because we're talking about Snoop, is about 3 years ago. We're watching one of those dopey shows on TV, The Masked Singer, and Dad was dead set that this one singer was Snoop Dogg. He's like the mannerisms, the way he moves, the way he talks. I'm betting the house on it. I bet the farm. I bet everything I got.
Oh,
Dad, I'm
gosh.
telling you guys, that is Snoop Dogg. And I'm going, Dad, that's not Snoop Dogg. And Janet's going, and Mom is going, I don't know. And he's going, I'm telling you, you guys are all going to eat crow. You're all going to be wrong. I'm telling you. He was so dead.
Was it?
No, it was Wiz Khalifa, I think.
Oh, good Lord.
I was like, Dad, it was another guy who likes to smoke a lot, but it's not the Snoop.
Hey, listen, passion never ran short with Glenn. Like, I mean, when he was on it, he was on it.
So set. He was like, this, I'm telling you, bet everything you got on this, and I'm going to go with Dad. No, don't do it.
That's great. Listen, a story you told me earlier, which I think was really awesome, I never heard, was about Flavor Flav. Who doesn't like that crazy guy?
Oh, he's been great for the Olympics too, because we'll just tell you the same story again. But he, unbelievably, he sponsors the women's U.S. Polo team.
That's
polo
awesome.
Team.
Like how?
And you would think, why? How does Flavor Flav get involved in women's polo? Yeah. Well, apparently, I guess he was reading a story, and most of these women, like most of the people in the Olympics, like, yeah, they're in the Olympics and they're winning golds, and that's great. They get some kind of, medal bonus if they medal, but like most of them are just hardworking stiffs like us.
Yeah.
Like they're just hardworking blue collar people that have a great talent and are able to showcase it on a world stage. But for the most part, they don't make millions. Right. They're not the LeBron Jameses of the world. They're not like even Simone Biles, who I'm sure does pretty well as the top women gymnast. Like, they're not those people. So, like the women's polo team, most of them were all like women who were like had families and kids and everything else. And like, so they were working their 40-hour job. They were doing everything at home, but then still finding time to train for the Olympics.
Wow.
And yet having to do it all on their own, find their own place to practice. So what he did is Flavor Flav ended up finding this out and came in and said, I don't think that's right. I'm going to sponsor you guys.
Wow.
And he sponsors now the women's team. So he takes care of like any expenses they need, this kind of stuff. So that this way they don't have to stress as much at home about it. They don't have to stress as much in their real life.
What does something like that cost, you think, Eric? I mean, let's think about it. He's not throwing $20 into a bucket when somebody's singing karaoke. I mean, he really stretched out there.
If you have, 10, 12, I don't know how many people are on a polo team, but I got to imagine you got to have at least 12, probably 10. And you have to send all, including coaches and whatever, and you have to send all of them to France. And you have to
and is he putting them up in hotels and feeding them too?
No, because I think they're staying in the Olympic Village, but he's probably paid for their flights and stuff, pays for all their training, like facilities and things of that nature. Because again, all that stuff costs money. Like people think like, oh yeah, the women's polo team, but where can they practice if they're not all members of the same pool or have an Olympic-sized pool somewhere? Where are they going to get it? Where are they going to do it? So the fact that he would come in and help them do all of that.
Awesome.
And yeah, it is. And what I also liked is the fact that he called out for more people to do the same. He's called for more celebrities to find their favorite Olympic team, regardless of what it is, what sport, badminton, whatever. Find your team and sponsor them. And
now badminton is an underutilized sport. One of my favorites. We were raised playing badminton. Is that really at the Olympics?
It is. Oh no, that's breakdancing is an Olympic sport this year too.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, breakdancing, badminton. There was actually some badminton highlights. What
about cornhole? Let's talk about cornhole. Is cornhole an Olympic sport? According
Not yet.
to not yet. But is it equally as crazy here in the Jersey area, New York area, as it is in the southern states. I mean, it is. It's a club.
It's gaining,
everyone's doing it.
Yeah, like I'll say this, like yes, because a lot of bars have like cornhole leagues in them now. And then even down at the lake, Hub Lakes, like the Lake Association, they have their own cornhole team, and they do not only horseshoes but cornhole as well. So they have both. Like they have a cornhole night and a horseshoe night. Like so it's getting very popular. The biggest thing up here right now, I would say you would see a lot of people rush to and for, is pickleball. And,
I played that.
Oh, now I got to hear about this because I've never played pickleball.
Okay.
I've heard about it. I know a little bit. I know a little bit of it because paddle tennis is similar, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
But yes, tell me about pickleball.
Okay, let me give you a quick overview. My granddaughter Emma went to pickleball training to learn how to play, and I thought, oh my gosh, she came back, she loved it, so much fun. I'm like, I can do that. So I called the same trainer that trained her. I set up an appointment. I'm like, okay, I'll go on my lunch hour from work. Now, that day it happened to be 92, 93 degrees. That was not working for me. It kind of was working against me. The exercise is awesome. I was very, very overheated, but the game itself is kind of addictive. Like there are rules a lot different than ping pong or tennis, but it's very fast, a very quick game, but it's a lot of fun. The only thing you have to worry about is how to tuck and roll. If you lose your footing, when you hit the ground, make sure you roll to the right, whatever it may be, but it's a great, great, fun sport. So I'm going to start playing more and more of it, but it's great exercise. But you can't play in the dead of the day when it's 110 miles, 110 outside. That was bad. But pickleball has taken off.
Huge around here.
It's huge. It's huge everywhere. I don't know why all of a sudden it's taken off because people have been playing it for years. And then all of a sudden, it's like all of a sudden it's just escalated like a lot of things do. It went from 0 to 190. But it's a fun sport. It's, I love that everybody is getting more into the way of exercising. People aren't sitting around. People are working out more. They're playing tennis more. They're playing golf more. People aren't as sedentary as they used to be. They're out and doing things, which is really great.
Well, it needed to happen, especially after those couple of years of lockdown and whatnot, where people were stuck inside for, to see people getting back out and enjoying these things. So maybe that's been the craze is they've come back out and kind of refound it. I'm trying to think of the right word, but found it again, like almost like they're like aboard again. Like, oh my God, I found this sport that I didn't know. Like I knew it existed, but I didn't really know it existed. Now, I was
thinking about that the other day. I was listening to somebody speak actually on a podcast. They were talking about one of the best sports there was during COVID was golf because it was social distancing. And I guess a lot of people were out there playing away. I mean, I stayed in my house like a little, No,
but a lot of people played.
But a lot of people got out and started playing golf more and just wanted to be outside. Once you're inside too much, nobody wants to be inside so much. So what'd you find out? You were looking up something.
No. So I wanted to, because we were talking about Snoop Dogg, and then we were talking about badminton and how you like badminton. And there is I wanted to play this for you because in case you haven't heard it yet, I wanted to play it. Hang on 1 second.
No, sit down somewhere. Get down. Wait a minute. Hold it. Way up in the sky. Now down. Oh, I love this badminton right here. This is a great rally right here between China and the U.S. right here. As
That's
you see it,
so
don't stop
funny.
The gasket drop. They rocking and rolling, back and forth. Give me that. No, I
Oh
need
my
that. No,
gosh.
over here. No, over
So
there.
it's a
What about
huge
over there?
sport.
No, what about there?
Look at
No,
'em.
Give me that. I need that. That too. No, sit down somewhere. Get down. Wait a minute. Hold it. Way up in the sky. Now down. Back up.
That's
over there.
awesome.
Now over here. Get out the way. Move. I told you we need that. That was a good point. Oh, I love
That's
this badminton right here.
perfect.
This is a great rally.
So that's huge.
Yeah, no, it's Olympic. Like I said, it's an Olympic sport now, and that was actually from this Olympics. And Snoop did a little commentary during the match, but I just figured put two and two together for you there. Since
Did you see him when he was doing the commentator on the horse? That's how he actually got his job with the Olympics. Is the way he was commentating with Hart.
Oh yeah,
Kevin Hart, and he was talking about that. I don't even know what they were doing. They
It
were.
was a horse race or something, right?
It was a horse race, and they were,
He
doing
just
their
commentated on it,
my
thinking
God.
people
Did a great
enjoyed
job.
it. Yeah, so
he did a great job.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, that's just entertaining.
I know.
That's just flat out entertaining right
I
there.
know.
So it was, and that's because to be honest, that's what we're all doing at home too. We don't know anything about badminton. Who can
Right,
tell you
right.
what a hit was? It's like when I watch gymnastics and they do a flip, or the one that gets me. And I don't know. Have you seen any of the synchronized diving?
Yes.
And I say this because how is the Chinese team so much better than the rest of the world? Like, I get it. They may be better,
know.
but they're like
Way above.
like 60, 70 points better than like the next closest
Well, maybe
team.
because.
And I'm like, but I watch them dive and I'm like, yeah, they're really good, but the team before them look really good too. So I don't know how to tell them apart.
Maybe, do you have to be, this is a question. I don't know. I've never synchronized dove before and don't really see it come into the future for me. But do you have to be the same height as the other person to dive so that everything is exactly synchronized?
Yes and no. So I think maybe that's what it is. Is there a little bit more? But I think that you're 100% on because it helps with the movement. Because pretty much what you want to do in synchro, as far as I know, is that you want to just pretty much mirror each other. You want it to be like two mirror images. So the best way to do that would be to have somebody similar to your size.
Right.
But at the same time, if you did have somebody smaller, as long as you're doing the same moves at the same times, at the same rotation rate and everything else, and it looks the same, I think you can get away with it. But I do think I don't think you could have a drastic difference. I think you need to be within an inch or two.
I'm wondering if that you were saying the Chinese.
They have unbelievable divers. They are
I
the
know.
number.
And that's my question. Are they the same height to
Oh yeah,
where
they look identical pretty much. Like same body style, everything.
And as you're watching, it makes a difference. So I don't know. That's just my thought on that.
Listen, they're phenomenal. I'm not saying that they don't deserve the golds that they're getting.
Oh, of course they do.
I just wonder how their point totals are always so much higher because I watch and I'm like, well, they just did a triple flip. The team before them did a triple flip and scored a 69, but yet they got an 85. Like, how did they get an 85 for the same looking dive that
you know
they
what?
did?
It's the exact, you make one little move, one little mistake, they get the points taken off. And we may not see it, but the judges are trained to see exactly what the errors are and go from there. So
absolutely. That's where I can't judge them because I don't know anything about the sport.
I know.
I'm that's where I'm Snoop Dogg right there going, oh, look at that. Look at that. Because that's all I can do is look because I have no idea. Same with gymnastics, though, to be honest. Like, I know what a good routine looks like. Like that kid on the pommel horse was a stud.
Yeah.
But outside of somebody like falling off a bar or falling off an apparatus, I
slipping.
don't know how to tell if that, like, other than maybe if they take like a hop step or something like you can actually like see. But some of these times they're like, ooh, they meant to do a 1.5 turn there and they only did a full turn. And
but they
like,
have a list of that.
I guess that's what it
they
is.
have
And
a
I don't
list
see
of
that list.
exactly how it's supposed to play out.
Triple
and they
cow,
can see
sow cow,
right,
and this, that, and the other. Like,
they can see if something's missed. So anyway, well, I just wanted to thank you for taking the time. This has been so fun.
Yeah. Listen, I'm always here to talk anything sports-wise. I could talk forever about that. But the main reason we're here, and the main reason you're here, though, is Dad this weekend. I was actually happy, too, because I went fishing a couple weeks ago, and I caught some fish.
I saw that.
Yeah,
you posted that.
yeah,
How many pounds was that, and what was it?
I caught, a bunch of different fish, and ones I've never caught before. So I know Dad would have been proud of me that day, because I caught my first ever smallmouth bass. I'd never caught I've caught a million other types of bass. Never a smallmouth and never a striped bass. I've never caught a hybrid or a striper. And I caught a hybrid striper up on the lake as well. That was probably about 5 pounds. The smallmouth was about 4 pounds. And then I caught about a 5-6 pound walleye as well. So that was pretty cool. Maybe about 4 pounds. But a nice sized walleye as well. And I never caught any of those fish. So those 3 brand new fish for me. Checked them off the boxes. 3 I've been looking to catch.
On to the next.
Yeah, went with Ray, my brother-in-law. And it was just a great day on the water and a great trip. So I look forward to doing it again. We're going to do it again in the fall.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing it again around then. But yeah, and hopefully maybe by then we'll have you back up as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be getting around the holidays around then probably.
Well, I look forward to a great sprinkle fest, food fest.
Yeah.
Fun fest. And
Family
I'm going to have a
fest.
girlfriend fest and a family fest.
Yeah.
We have it's what is it? A festive what's the Steinfeld one?
Festivus? It's
Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us?
It's Festivus for the Treslars. I mean, so what better way to do it than be with family? So
Right.
It's been great fun, and I look forward to a real awesome weekend with you guys. So thanks for having me
I look forward to
on.
it too. No problem. I'm happy to have you. A little off
Thanks.
the rails episode here.
Off
but
the
why
rail.
not? Having fun, talking about Dad. I'm always down to do that. So, till
It's
next
been
time,
fun.
like Dad would say, don't be afraid to have an opinion, stand your ground, and die on this hill.